Hello and welcome to another update video on MSTR. So the downtrend continues to unfold. We have a few things to talk about here. First of all, the wave count itself is unchanged because this third wave is simply extending to the downside. The trend line is also doing its job. It keeps the local trend down. And I said to you in the last video updates that really without a break above that trend line, well, it's a trend line, right? The trend remains downward. Rather, however, it's extending to the downside and it's actually accelerating to the downside. So the level that I highlighted as, well, ideal target, first ideal target at $191, which is the 100% extension. And I shared quite a lot of information about why this level is normally important, and it is important. It didn't really generate a solid response. It was very weak, obviously. I have to say the response, the reaction was a bit weaker than expected. On the other hand, I have to say I gave you a micro resistance area and said really only if we break above it, we have an indication that a low is in. Market couldn't break above it. So trend just remains down. But as we approach these levels, we can watch for reactions, and the size of the reaction can tell us if we are already in the next larger bounce to the upside or if we're still in an extension to the downside. For now, the market hasn't given me any reason to believe that a meaningful low has formed. However, a bounce in circle wave 4, in a larger wave 4, and that bounce could take a few weeks, is actually due from my point of view. But if something is due, doesn't matter. Sometimes the market just extends third waves. And to be honest, that third wave that started in October is simply extending at the moment. And it can do that. That's what third waves do. They are not without reason normally called the strongest elements in a trend. So I don't find it surprising. But obviously, well, we're approaching now very oversold levels, right? I mean, we can double check. Let's take a look at the 4-hour time frame. We are oversold again. So the market already was oversold on the 4-hour on the 14th of November. We bounced a bit and we're now getting to oversold regions again. But I think on MSTR, probably more like the daily chart is important. And you can see here, we are now as oversold as last time in May 2022. And before that, a little bit more oversold in January 2022. So it is a significant crash for MSTR. I said to you before, I don't expect a meaningful low to form here, but a bounce in wave 4 would help us to understand a little bit how much more, we probably have to expect in this correction, because when we know where the third wave bottoms, we can identify targets and resistance for the fourth wave. And then once we have the fourth wave, we can define targets for the fifth wave to the downside. Either way, for now, the local trend remains down. I'll keep you updated about it, but there isn't really much more to add because we haven't broken any resistance. For now, I would say the earliest signal that a low of sorts is in place would be a break above the last swing high at $196 and 60. $196 and actually $196. So just this swing high here that formed on Wednesday. That's the update on MSTR Strategy Inc. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And if you're interested in additional updates, then also check out our other channels. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.